Bundle up, busted. Why cold weather doesn't cause colds. It's a classic warning. Bundle up or you'll catch a cold. It's been ingrained in us for generations, through books, TV shows, and our own parents. But is it true? Does being chilly actually give you the sniffles? The short answer is no. The idea that cold exposure, damp hair, or forgetting your scarf causes the common cold is one of the most persistent health myths out there. A British research team conducted a few unusual experiments, including putting participants in a cold hallway in wet bathing suits for half an hour and wet socks after changing into dry clothes. The results produced no evidence that these cold and wet conditions made the participants catch a cold. So what actually causes a cold? The common cold is caused by viruses, primarily the rhinovirus. You only get sick if you are infected by one of these viral particles. The true cause of seasonal sickness is transmission. In the winter, people spend much more time indoors in close proximity, like in classrooms, offices, or dorms. When someone coughs or sneezes, those viral droplets hang in the air or settle on surfaces. Then, when someone else breathes in those particles or contacts infected surfaces, the virus can enter the body and begin its attack. Once infected, the local immune innate response is triggered in the infected epithelium of the respiratory tract, which generates the standard symptoms of the common cold, like a cough, sore throat, and nasal congestion. So why does the myth survive? This is where the nature of science comes in, specifically the difference between correlation and causation. The cold weather and cold season correlate. They happen at the same time. When you get sick, you naturally look for the obvious trigger, and the cold air you feel is just the easy answer. But science, through controlled experimentation and falsification, proves the cold air is a confounder, not the cause. In other words, you could stand in a refrigerator naked for an hour and not get sick, provided you aren't infected by a virus. The myth persists because it offers a satisfying, albeit inaccurate, explanation. With the myth out of the way, let's look at the scientific reason why winter is the sickness season. There are two key factors that create ideal conditions for viral survival and infection. The first, dry air. Heated indoor air during the winter significantly lowers humidity. Low humidity dries out the mucus lining in your nose and throat. This mucus is your body's first line of defense, trapping viruses. The second, blood vessel constriction. Some studies suggest that the chilling of the respiratory tract might temporarily constrict local blood vessels, reducing the supply of infection-fighting white blood cells to the nasal lining, making it easier for a virus to take hold once it's already there. This is also why your fingers, nose, and toes are the first to feel cold. The myth doesn't address the main risk, exposure to others. It doesn't encourage sick people to stay home or practice respiratory etiquette, which is the single most effective way to slow community spread. While the trope of characters getting sick from going out when it's cold is a fun way to create special moments with other characters, the repeated suggestion that it's the weather's fault and we just need to bundle up distracts from the actual prevention methods that work to reduce infections. According to a study in 2013, more than half of K-12 educators believe that wearing warm clothes can help prevent children from catching the common cold. This shows that even among educated individuals, the correlation between colder weather and the sick season is stronger in people's minds than the virus and behavioral changes that increase transmission in the colder months. Here's what you should do to stay healthy this winter. Wash your hands. It's the #1 defense. washing thoroughly and frequently to break that chain of transmission through contact with infected surfaces. Increase ventilation. Open your windows periodically, even in the winter, to circulate the air and reduce the concentration of airborne viral particles. Use a humidifier. Maintaining a humidity above about 40% can keep your mucous membrane moist and make the air less friendly for virus survival. So let's put this myth to rest. The cold weather doesn't make you sick. The viruses in the air do. Next time you're told to bundle up, remember, you're doing it for your own comfort, not as a vaccine.